Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. We have an exciting game for you this morning, which is Panicoblack, the Italian, with some Amazons, I believe, versus Stig with his beautifully painted turquoise human team. Just getting the details of the skills and the rosters, which will soon be filled in on screen for you all to see. And then we can get started with the game.
Hello everyone and welcome to coverage of Tackle Zone. Just going to see if we can check sound.
Hello everybody, can I just have a couple of minutes of your time? So firstly, we're going to give it 5-10 more minutes, but I know some of you don't have opponents yet. If we could just wait 5 minutes, and then if you still haven't got an opponent, come to the ref station and we'll work out who's missing and maybe who plays who. A few other small things, we've got a growing lost and found section, so if you've lost anything or found anything, that's what that's for. We still have some of the free gifts for sale. It's £5 for one of the Nurgle Wizards, so we've got loads of those left. And we're going to be looking at the best painted teams at lunchtime. So if you'd like to nominate your team or a team that you've seen this weekend for best painted, if just at any point during this round you could just come up to us and let us know who that belongs to, and we'll then approach them and get them all displayed at the tables at the front here, and everyone can look at them at lunchtime. All right. And we've got spot prizes again for this round, and they'll be for casualties from fouls.
So there's a chuckled murmur going around the room as they find out that the spot prize is for fouls. So yeah, that's going to make a few games exciting. So here we have Panico's Amazons against Stig's Humans. So Panico is going for a 4-blitzer build with Carla. So he has 3 blitzers with guard, which are red. One blitzer with Mighty Blow, which is pink. A thrower leader, which is blue. Line woman with tackle, which is green. Need to add another line. Carla purple. with 2 rerolls and no Apo. On Stig sides, we have humans. He has also gone for a Carla build. So we have 2 Carlas on the pitch. He has 4 blitzers with guard, which are also reds. He has an ogre with block. He has a thrower with leader, which is white. Good if I could spell thrower. And he has a lineman with block, which is blue. Yeah, I know his name's Panico. Everyone just calls him Panico though. Everyone just calls it Panico. Let's put that in.
There is another Italian called...
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that. That makes sense then. He has 1 reroll and no Apo. And I'll also just point out, although it's unskilled, he also has a catcher which we've marked as yellow. Well, Joe, it's nice to not have some elves.
Isn't it? Isn't it fantastic? 2 teams that you can actually tell apart.
Table 2 as well. So both of these guys are having good tournaments.
It's a very impressive performance from Stig. Not necessarily found on these top tables too often, but usually found at the top of the painting competitions. And the players shake hands as the game kicks off. It'd be interesting to see what Stig does here with La Carla, whether he uses her as a ball carrier or whether she is left free to roam around.
So I'll just have one more. So on the human side, Carla is the one with the larger base. So not the big ogre who is on the front line. Too many lines.
Morning, Straum. Welcome back. Hopefully you can hear us this time.
So yeah, this is Carla here on the larger base. And this one here is the ogre who doesn't have a skill ring, but does have block. Although Stig announced it as a troll with guard.
Okay.
So there we go.
It could be anything.
Could be anything. That's a really awkward kick.
I'm just going to see if I can get back the...
So thanks for joining us this morning, guys. So this is table 2. We will just get you the rest of the round draw. So the place to go to this weekend if you want the information on the round draw and the standing is here. So I've just linked that up. So if you go there, you can see the full round 4 draw as well as the standings after round 3. So Panico and Stig are having a very good tournament. This is table 2. But we've also got some interesting charge of the stunties as well. We've got both halflings and goblins on the top 10 tables, as well as the expected plethora of dark elves and wood elves.
And a couple of dwarves there as well.
Some dwarves there. Watford boy having a good tournament.
There's actually a really nice mix of teams up there, considering how many Wood Elf teams have been taken to the tournament.
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
A couple of Amazons, Undead, 3 humans, 2 humans, 2 dwarves, Slan, Necromantic, Halflings, Pro Elves. So, yeah.
Well, on the NAF page I just linked up, they've done some stats on how teams have performed so far. There are 2 people playing Slan this weekend, and they've had 3 wins and 3 draws. So Slan have yet to lose this tournament.
But isn't it the case that one of those players has won all 3 games and one of them has lost all 3 games?
Possibly.
Yeah,
possibly. So Stig here pushing up on the right flank, sensibly deciding to cover the ball before going for anything risky. So that ball looks fairly secure, although you never quite know with Carla around. And he should proceed onto the blocks now to try and do some damage before going for the pickup. Oh, I've got some masking tape on it. Oh, actually, I've moved that. So that is stuck.
Just going to reset this dice cam so that you can actually see what Stig is rolling. It's got the ogre involved there, block over. Getting a knockdown on Amazon, always very nice.
Yeah, whiteboard's on. Yeah.
So this is really good positioning from Stig here. Just double banking in front of this ball so that should anything go wrong on line of scrimmage, like double skulls with the ogre or something, there is some protection. Stop the Amazons just screaming in and getting the ball.
So probably the big weakness in this particular matchup from Stig's humans is he doesn't have anyone with tackle.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting that he chose to take block on the lineman as the last skill. I think wrestle there would have been a pretty good compromise.
Yeah.
If he wants to take all 4 guard on the blitzers. I think in this scenario I'd probably be tempted to take 3 guard and a tackle anyway. But if you're going to take 4 guard, then the wrestle lineman is probably a good halfway point. The problem with this kick for Stig is that he's doing exactly the right thing by covering the ball, but that does commit him very heavily to this side of the pitch, looking to drive up that way. But that's going to be really easy for the Amazons to cover. They can just line up all of their Amazons over here and then start squeezing in over here. So there's a pretty good chance that if Stig doesn't position carefully on these first few turns, he's going to get himself bogged down.
Yeah, I like that although he's committed like half of his team to the flank, I like that he's actually left people in the middle. Quite often you see people fold around to cover the side.
Anybody who hasn't got an opponent, please raise your hand.
And the pickups worked.
Excellent, thank you.
yeah.
Not sure about this from Panicoblack. Seems like a fairly easy decision just to line up your defence on this area first before taking these blocks. It's pretty basic block ball, that. It's not necessarily the case of worrying about the quad skulls, but worrying about having to use a reroll. There's a potential that you wouldn't have to waste one this turn just by getting your defence in order and then giving yourself the opportunity to decline a reroll.
That is a KO.
So, very good start for Panicoblack there.
And yeah, so this has left the ogre a little isolated.
Oh, so the Amazons are Carla as well, so it's a Carla off.
Yeah, it's Carla both sides. So it'll be interesting to see whether they want Carla to do their own thing or they want Carla to neutralise the other Carla.
Yeah. So this defence is interesting. If he leaves this alone like this, it's offering Stig the sideline down here. So traditionally you'd want to put another player there to double bank this sideline area, just to completely prevent the humans coming through. But it seems, whether it's a deliberate decision or not, it's interesting because it seems like Panicoblack has just given Stig the opportunity to run through on this side. Just shove a Garaga in there, blitz from here, push back him and then get the whole team through. Humans movement, it's quite easy to be having a cage in that area. If Stig wanted, he could have a cage here in his turn.
Especially with the movement 8 catcher in the yellow skill ring there, that's the fast player that can really get around to form that bottom corner.
I mean, this is...
but it feels like a trap.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's the question. Is it a trap? Is he just trying to tease Stig into coming through here and scoring early? Because of that KO, I might actually take that trap at this point. Like, if I was Panicoblack, I'd be thinking, this position is just incredible. Like, these humans aren't scoring in this drive from here. If I was playing these Amazons here, I would be banking there and then just continuing to squeeze in on this side. Just push them further and further and back into this corner. Just have the whole team ending up here in turn 4 or something, going absolutely nowhere. So leaving Stig this out here, it looks like he's going for it. Leaving him this out is a double-edged sword.
So I think that's maybe a small mistake in the sense that this guy's obviously just moved one square, which feels wasteful, when you could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Absolutely.
And that he's not doing anything otherwise, and then this guy who's moved up then
comes round into the cage. Yeah, absolutely. That is a mistake. Ooh, ass. Oh, that guy hasn't got block. I thought the skill ring and assumed.
I think that's the tackle one.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been curtains.
Yeah, so this flank is particularly weak if that wasn't even a blitzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Daniel rightly pointed out, moving this guy rather than this guy is going to force Steve into 2, 3 extra go for it potentially on this turn.
And I don't think you want to fill that square with... So Carla's just moved into the square that I think a lot of people would want to be moving through.
Yeah, Carla, it doesn't, because this is going to force a dodge or from him unless he wants to put the throw on the sideline. Here, which seems like that could actually work though if he does this correctly. Like if he puts a normal cage there and then another player like the catcher here, that makes it a lot harder for the surf to be a problem. Potentially getting this guy around here as well.
Because that's the thing, the guarder that moved up initially could have gone where the catcher is now.
Yeah.
And then the catcher could have folded round.
Yeah, Zara would be good here with her stab. Unfortunately, you pick your teams at the start of the tournament, so you're not really sure who you're going to be facing. She's also quite a lot more expensive.
Go for it's good.
Yeah. So as you can see, that was an extra go for it that Stig would not have had to make had he used the blitzer, the original blitzer we discussed. Yeah, I'm quite worried about Steve's chances here. It looks like quite a large commitment, and with a lot of Amazons free to potentially come round. I'm thinking that this ogre really needs to get a decent block off here.
Yeah.
Push forward, start occupying a few more of these guys or girls as well.
Yeah, you need to start tying up some of these ons. Force at least some of them to make a dodge.
Yeah.
It's still very early, so even if Panico doesn't immediately put the pressure on, what he really needs to do is block this line.
Yeah.
And then keep Stig in a box, and then slowly over time just make that box smaller and smaller. If he doesn't, regardless of what else happens, if he doesn't block off this lower line, Stig just then runs into the other corner, and he probably can't stall to 8, but at this point if he stalls to 6, that's fine.
Yeah, humans are quite a lot faster than Amazons, so in terms of defending, Amazons are going to need a few turns to score, you would think. So block from the ogre coming in. Oh, he's got the power as well. That's huge.
Now Mighty Blow hoping to do some work. It does the work.
It's through. Oh, that's a KO.
So we're back to even numbers, 10v10 now.
It's quite a confident move there from Panicoblack. I think he might have spotted something. Potentially just trying to free up one of his players. Okay, it's quite a confident move here from Panicoblack. He's gone straight in for the blitz on the catcher before moving any else other of his players.
And that's the Mighty Blow one as well.
Okay, it's through with Mighty Blow. Oh, that's a good roll.
Ooh. That's tricky now. and they go for it.
Yeah, it's fairly effective defensive of these two guys. The humans can't remove both of these two Amazons and move the ball carrier in the same turn. So the humans are going to have to backtrack.
Yeah, especially being players down. He's going to want to reconnect his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this ogre is not doing very much work at all. Like, if that ogre was involved with the cage, it'd be a much harder job for Panicoblack to pressurize. I mean, that's an unfortunate side effect of where the kick landed, more than anything.
Yeah, I think that might be an inaccuracy, this one. I think it should be there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Stig's really going to look to burst through that line. He's going to want to go this way.
Absolutely. Well, he's moved this other guy in to
But by dodging
that.
these away, I think you free them up to potentially...
Yeah. Get back involved.
So you could have pinned both of those and form a cage sort of here,
Yeah.
and that's much trickier to do anything with.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Remembering that Carla is available, and so that's quite an easy 2 die splits out here. Just a push back on this player to there, then the thrower might maybe dodge out, end up here, and then these two guys can form the sides of the cage on this side. I mean, if this is just a regular Amazon line woman, I believe it is, got no ring.
It is, yeah.
You could even just blitz with this blitzer. It's a 2+ basically to free up a massive hole through here.
Yeah.
Because at the moment there's a problem that Carla can't get through without first rolling a 1 dice on this guy.
And you don't really want to lose. That guarder would just have to push say down right, and then you've lost that guarder.
Exactly. You need this player, this guarder here, involved in the play. You could just move it out of the way to there, for example, and just waste its action, but that's losing a player basically.
Yeah. So just a push there from Stig. I think he might want to try and free up that blitzer on the floor with the knockdown, but with the push remains tied up.
Oh, he's doing this is good because he can then stand this person up and then block there onto that Amazon, following up. All the push is all is needed, but then gets the guard involved so that this person can throw a 2 dice block on that person.
That could even just free Carla up too.
Yeah. Oh.
So much easier for us watching than it is
The
being
pressure.
in that situation. Yeah, absolutely. Especially
Table
under the
2
lights.
of the NAFC Championship. I mean, the first thing next thing I'll be doing here is activating this ogre just to see whether it boneheads.
If he's in the game or not.
Yeah. If he boneheads, then you have to completely rearrange your turn. You have to start doing other things. You might even have to run the thrower back here to start blocking these people more. If that player ogre activates, then it can become a cage corner, and then.
I've definitely done that a lot when I've tried to do slow drives with something like lizards. I'll activate the crocs.
Yeah.
And if the crocs boneheads, I'll be like, well, that's a turn. Like, I'll just make a few small improvements, but that's it. I'm happy. Ooh.
So it's interesting from Steve here because he's made all the right decisions in terms of getting the 2 dice block enabled here.
Yeah.
But then he's sacrificed the blitzer anyway. So he's rolled 3 extra blocks in order to save this blitzer, but then wasted the blitzer anyway.
I think as well, if you want the run back option, that block, this player here should be there.
Yeah.
Because now, with that blocked, with this block, it would have to be pushed into there, and now you've actually
block yourself off.
You've killed your own self.
Yeah.
Whereas in other circumstances, it could either gone into there or gone into there, but then the thrower could run back.
Yep.
So actually, Carla's gone in to prevent the dodge on the thrower, and it looks like he's actually just trying to form a cage where he is.
That's. I think I sense that might be problematic. It's a very hard chance that there will be some kind of chain push shenanigans to surf the ball carrier next turn, if he ends up there or there.
And now Carla's rolled it both down. Oh, which means he doesn't even get his plan of being able to move the thrower.
Yeah, I think Steve's got himself a little bit of a pickle here, unfortunately.
Compounded with just a push. Yeah, I think these players down here really need to be steaming in. Because if the thrower can dodge back to here, and these players are tied up with these two, at least he's got a fighting chance.
Yeah, because this player here is stunned. So this is a half safe position.
Yeah. It's not like this is a very unlikely block with this Garda.
Yeah.
So that's almost as good. And actually, it's fine when you've got a player in a position like this and you've got these two here and you've got another one there. It doesn't matter that you've got one player here because they can't kill both of the guys on this corner. So here it is, big dodge.
Oh, this is a small technical error as well. Should be dodging to there in case it fails.
Yeah.
And then the ball won't go in the crowd.
Yes.
Because then you can still come back to this square.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Free. Yeah. And this is the margins, just like small things like this.
Oh, head ref Joemanji has joined us on the Tackle Zone chat.
Who told him where Twitch was? Hi, Jim. Look, Deefa down there, he's just chuckling away to himself. He's been just sat on the ref's table chuckling to himself the whole tournament.
Jim is not that entertaining.
He really isn't. He's such a mischievous little man. And yeah, I think he needs to go one back, doesn't he?
No, I think.
Are you happy there with the, in case of the?
This is a dreadful position. You can just blitz this guy, push him to that square, and then get some guard in here, and then chain push the guy.
Right, yeah.
It's interesting because if Stig survives this turn with these guys all squeezed in, then he's got a chance of getting out of this and then spinning around here.
Yeah.
He might be able to get an 8-turn driver out of this if he keeps the ball. I don't think that's particularly likely, especially not since Carla is about to get surfed as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately a pretty calamitous turn from Steve there, leaving Carla next to the sideline. Was not a strong position. It's a shame because when you're in a boxing like that and you're feeling under pressure, sometimes you miss the easy outs, which was just blitzing this person.
And potentially you even had, I mean, I wouldn't say this was plan A, but it is a thrower, so it does have inbuilt rerolls.
Yeah.
This free blitzer here could have just run to here, and then the thrower runs to here, and then passes. And all of a sudden, the entire Amazon team is out of the game.
Absolutely.
And yeah, you're not going to take an 8-turn drive out of that, but
at least you're scoring. Because the situation now is that this looks like 1-0 to the Amazons on the human drive, quite comfortably.
Although we said quite comfortably a lot in Purple Chest's game yesterday.
We did. That game had some ups and downs.
Shenanigans can still happen.
Good morning, Blue Member 82.
Hey mate, how are you?
I was a stun as well, so a couple of knockdowns, a surf of Carla and a stun here. Things looking very bleak for the humans.
So at least the good news was Carla went into the reserve bin.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Because of course you can't use star players on apothecaries on star players, so that would have been permanent. Whatever happened to her on that dice roll. Looks like Panico is just going to take a consolidation turn here. He's just going to squeeze his position in and then hope to, worst case scenario, get the ball next turn, if not this. It makes a lot of sense. Don't give the humans any outs.
Oh, we see a one. Is he gonna? Oh, I'm not quite sure. Oh, is that? It's wrong. Jiminy discovering Twitch emotes. Here comes a dodge, it's a 1, dodge reroll. Into a 3, successful. And just forming up a barrier there to stop the humans from escaping. And this is a foul action. Double 2, plus 2 friends, 3-4. But he argues the call. So it is a turnover, but he does get the player back. So, like we said yesterday, the difference is with a bribe, you would stay on the field and it wouldn't be a turnover. But with argue the call, it is a turnover and you are off the field, but you don't get sent off, you go into reserves. But maybe a little bit needless there, with only plus 2 on the foul. You still needed to roll a 7. So I know Panico wants to exploit being numbers up to go even more numbers up. But that felt a little bit, a little bit optimistic. So down to 9 Amazons now, including the one on the floor, against 8 humans. And actually at this position, I think this position looks alright for the humans. Because the ball carrier here is not in contact, and pretty much nor is any of the screeners. So if this player can be removed, Stig's actually got a fairly easy out. and he doesn't even need to activate the ogre to get it to form part of the cage. This player here has block, so that makes it safer. So yeah, we might see these guys running around here, the thrower following, this player coming into here for that block, and maybe a blitz here.
Just had a quick dart around the tables for Stunty Watch. Our Stunty heroes. Purple is unfortunately looking like he's going to turn over and concede on his drive, but Will Ziff is still driving with his halflings, looking to score.
So I've told them top stunties, will be round 5.
Okay.
And then obviously the final for round 6. So Joe, just to catch you up here, Panico hasn't really pressed very hard, and he's actually left 4 humans in no contact, which gives Stig a fairly easy out if he wanted to go back and try and centralise.
Yeah.
Panico also took a +2 foul on this down guard and rolled a double 2.
Wow.
But then successfully argued the call.
Oh.
So it is now 9v8.
But the player was still onto reserves, I assume?
Yes, so the player's now gone into reserves.
Okay.
And it was a turnover. So that is the ogre boneheaded.
I mean,
I don't think he needed to do that. I think he could have formed a cage.
without activating him.
Activating. So a little dunce's cap has gone on to the ogre there.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I mean, I would be tempted to be blitzing this guy, and the thrower can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means that this ogre didn't need to move at all. He's quite happy being part of the cage.
But also I think the other lineman could have come back. The lineman in contact with that player has block.
Yep.
So he could have taken the block and then potentially blitzed the other one near the ogre. So he could have probably cleared both of them out.
That's a good point. And get this guy back in the game.
Get this guy back up and in the action. He could have even done the blitz, the guy on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. The Panico looks to have let Stig off the hook a little bit here.
Yeah.
He's obviously so keen to surf Carla, sorry.
If there was ever a place you didn't need a corner cage, it's there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that again is a slight waste of a player. I think this player here doesn't need to be on the corner card because there's just no threat from this side.
Yeah.
And he would have been better off moving it. Could have gone 6-7 to there.
Yeah.
And then blitz with that player to free them up, push it to there, and then this player can come here, and you've actually got a nice line here. But this player shouldn't have been left in contact either.
No.
So just small inaccuracies, but I think they're starting to build up.
I mean, even just the fact that of where the ball carrier in the cage is,
Yeah.
like it could quite easily have been caged here rather than where he is.
Yeah.
And that's a lot further over, and that offers us really good breakaway potential down this side in the future turn. As it is, this cage looks quite vulnerable. The Amazons can steam in around this area and then just start pressuring the humans' ability to break forward again.
That's it, with Amazons being all movement 6 and Stig having quite a few movement 7 pieces,
Yeah.
you only need to get 3 or 4 squares ahead of them
Yeah, you see, because
to have a cleanish break.
this player didn't even stand up on Stig's turn.
Yeah.
He tried to go for a dodge here. I presume he would have tried a dodge with this guy as well. Later in the turn, had that worked, but yeah, definitely could have ordered that a little bit better. It's little things like deciding not to activate your big guy at all, which make the huge differences. We saw it in the game between Bad Storm and Purple Chest when Bad Storm made a block with his Treeman on turn 2. That it was just an unnecessary block that had just left a huge gap for Purple Chest to take advantage of. It didn't need to be there.
This is the leader Reaver. Oh, he's double wondered dodge, so he's gone.
Ooh. That's interesting because it looked like he was coming.
No, it was a go for it, sorry. Yeah, double one to go for it.
Looked like he was coming in here.
Yeah.
Goes past this ogre. Wow.
Ladies and gents, the spot prizes have all gone. Keep fouling.
Wow, that's interesting.
So this goes back to exactly what you said before around not making some safe moves before the dice.
Yeah.
So I know that's only a 1 in 36.
Yeah.
I won a tournament because my opponent won in 36 because he wanted to stand up and move one square with a mummy.
Yeah.
And he thought I'd do that first, double ones, and I'm like, thanks, yeah, I walk it in now.
Yeah, this is huge for Steve. Like all of these players here, like at least 4 of these players would not have been making any dice rolls in their turn.
Yeah.
And so they should have just moved to where they wanted to be, like here, maybe if he's going all in, somebody around here. Like they don't need to, he doesn't need to be rolling that dice now.
That's it, and I understand leaving some players not activated in order to take advantage of.
Yeah, you need a few
pickup.
people around.
But as you say, 3 or 4 are going to do nothing anyway, so yeah, huge result. Hello, Jim. You found the Twitch. Can you hear us as well?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
You just, yeah, okay.
No, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
You've just been ripping into you. Ripping shreds.
Rip in chunks.
It's just the way D for Dan. He just can't stop laughing. Like, every time he looks over, his laugh just gets bigger. By the end of it, he was holding his belly. It's like, come on, man.
I tried to find a, like sometimes you can make people out of slashes and returns, and
Yeah.
find a real good copy pasta. But
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a really scummy Twitch channel which haven't had any of the extra stuff put in. So some of the guys who do the streaming regularly have loads of custom icons and all the rest of it.
Well, Jim's given us our first emotes.
He has, yes. Yeah, he has. Well done. Well done.
We're proper streamers now.
Proper streamers.
Yeah, Kappa.
Yeah. Do you have an Amazon Prime subscription?
I do.
Do you wanna?
I use it each month on a streamer whose content I enjoy.
Oh, what?
That's fair. I can't look at that.
Well, you're not even able to take them anyway.
I am.
Are you?
Yeah, after Eurobowl,
Yeah.
I've become a.
Really?
Just from Eurobowl, just 2 days
Of views.
having like 120 people
Wow.
a day view got me enough. So you can subscribe to me. Don't subscribe to me, guys. I'm on like once every 6 months. It would be a complete waste of your subscription. But it's amazing, yeah. Just streaming for like 2 or 3 days in a row just really gets you the hours that you want.
Yeah.
So you have to have like an average number of like 70.
Yep.
And I had like an average of like over 100.
Okay.
Because
Of that one time.
yeah, that one time, off he runs.
Well, this has been a category, litany of errors from both players really here, and this is looks like Steve's going to get away, and look, they could even score an 8 here.
That's one of the really grueling things. Like, how many games have you had where your opponent has made a few mistakes, gone away with it, and ended up scoring an 8? Whereas if you just like left it open, and they'd not made the mistakes, they could have just walked it in.
So many games like that, like where they're trying to score in 2, and then you spend all of your effort trying to stop them, and the end result is that they score an 8.
Yeah.
It's just walk people in.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've actually spent a lot of time recently trying to think of ways to deliberately leave mistakes that are big enough for my opponent to take advantage of and score when I want them to early, but not big enough for them to go, oh, is he leaving that on purpose?
So I think we'll come back to that because I think it's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
The Ogre just rolled a 9 on the injury, and Mighty Blow has casualtied the leader thrower.
Oh, that's huge.
So the leader reroll's already been used on the go for it, the failed go for it before, but yeah, Panicoblack down to 2 rerolls next half.
This is what Gegster was saying to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that whenever he watches stream games, like the one crazy thing that happens always gets missed because someone's talking about cats or something.
Yeah. That's what he said. Yeah. And they look around and like, oh, where's that player gone?
Yeah.
We had that with Farina's game where we were kind of chatting and setting up.
Yeah.
And normally, because we're writing things in, like the skills that they've got, we miss like the very beginning of it, and we look up and it's like, where's the rat ogre gone? It's like straight in the bin.
Okay, immediately gone.
Yeah, immediately in the bin.
Like, you would never have dreamed that Steve would be in this position
No.
3 turns ago.
No.
He was in such a pickle.
Yeah, Panico let him off a little bit there, and then the double one compounded.
It's the kind of thing that people will complain about. Like, the story will be from Panicoblack, oh, I rolled double one, but you can still. The biggest skill in Blood Bowl is mitigating against bad luck. That's basically all of the game.
For me, that's the difference between a good and a great player. Good players only lose games to like double ones.
Yeah.
Great players aren't even rolling that die.
Yeah. Or if they are, they're in a position where it doesn't cost them.
Yeah. Thanks, Peda. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't believe the problems yesterday with it was just my headset was plugged in, and for some reason the computer wanted to use that microphone rather than the proper one, which we told it to. So,
well, it was all a knock-on from the internet problem. Like the guys here didn't get it working for the first 3 hours. It was just like a knock-on panic effect for the entire rest of the day of just like.
Yeah. So we were busy helping with that, which meant that the cameras weren't fixed properly, which meant they kept slipping a lot. So then we were spending a lot of time going and readjusting them. Whereas I came in early this morning and spent sort of an hour just refixing everything a bit tighter. You can now see the top of the board. You can see the bins. So yeah, much easier today. Now we've got the internet and the sound working. But thanks for the guys who were sticking around with us and helping us yesterday. It was really appreciated.
If you brave souls weren't watching without sound, we would never have known that there was no sound.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And apologies to the people who had turned their volume right the way up as we fixed the mistake, and all of a sudden they were being deafened.
That is not accepting liability for hearing problems or medical bills.
I do have public liability insurance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, for this? Or just for your life?
Yes, for the company, yeah. But it will cover this, bizarrely enough. So Panicoblack now needs to kind of scream back over.
Oh, he's threw the armour on this guy, blitz it. Oh, he's dead. It's extreme. See what it is.
Ouch. But I don't think Stig has an Apo either.
Oh, no.
Because he's got Carla and an Ogre.
Oh, yeah, he won't do. Wow, big roll. Players are streaming off the pitch on both sides here.
One thing I have been impressed with Stig actually is, despite the fact he's had some bad luck with some dodges, well, not like terribly bad luck.
Yeah.
But despite the fact he's failed a couple of things, he's not used that reroll.
Yeah.
He's got one reroll and he is holding on to it.
Or doesn't he have leader? Or has leader gone away?
Yeah, he's got leader as well.
Okay.
Although has leader...
He's got 2 left there.
Right.
He's got one there.
Yeah, he's got the leader reroll and another one. Yeah, sorry.
But you're still absolutely right in what you're saying, is that reroll management, when you've got 2, is really important. The amount of rookies you see using their rerolls turn 1, turn 2, and then playing the rest of the on nothing. It's turn around again, because that blitzer leaving the pitch has meant that Panico can actually put on a lot of pressure.
I remember these 3. That was a go. Oh, that's let him off.
How to go for it.
I was going to say those 3 blitzes all have guard as well, so it meant that Stig wasn't even able to take a 1 die.
I think it's a fairly good shot here of Stig just staying where he is. Yeah, if we can get this this ogre to blitz one of these guys, maybe.
I'd always be tempted to blitz with the block guy to then reposition for a 2-die somewhere else.
Sure.
Because I just don't. Because I think optimally you want to blitz with the ogre.
Yeah.
But I just don't trust it. But at this point, I'd be thinking I've had my luck in this game, and I'm not going to bank it all on an ogre behaving.
The thing about this turn is that Stig only has 5 players here that can activate, which means that this ogre's going to have to activate anyway. So even if he tries to move and fails, that's almost the same as him failing a blitz because he has block. So the upswing of using this extra strength and block as the blitz is probably mitigating the risk of using it.
Would you, if you were the humans, would you be looking to stall another turn or score?
Oh, I can get another turn of stalling out of this, no problem. 2 rerolls left in the bank.
So Coordinator said no comment about both teams having the same star.
That's just a rule at the NAFC Championship, which you can thank me for. That was my invention when I was running this tournament, which is basically normal rules are if both players have the same star, neither gets them. But that's not very much fun in a tournament environment. People have built their team around the particular star, so it didn't seem particularly difficult to just have them both playing. In the old rules of Blood Bowl, there was the allowance that maybe it was their twin sister or brother or something. There was a similar star player.
And I think it makes for some interesting, unique games as well to have 2 stars like facing off against each other.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how the different players use them. So the ogre didn't bonehead and has moved into contact, which now gives Stig a 2-die block against the lower Amazon blitzer.
So, who's this player? Can you tell? Is that a blitzer?
That's a blitzer as well. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a pretty good stall coming on here. If you can potentially 1 dice off this guy to free up this block guy to blitz this guy, push it back, which leaves you with 1, 2, 3 players to form some sort of cage over here. The reason why I would use a blitz rather than a block, so you might be thinking, well, you can block here on her without having to use a blitz action, but then the pushback directions are only here, which blocks you off from where you actually want to stand. So you want to be pushing the player away so that you can form your cage or screen in that area.
Just as you say that, he goes for the block.
Yeah.
But if it's a POW,
everything's fine.
It's a POW.
Wow. Okay. Well,
that's what Lycos would say, played for and got.
Absolutely. Oh, and arm break as well. Wow.
I can feel it.
It's a stun, but it's good enough at this point.
Yeah, it's great.
Turn 7.
It's great. Yeah, what is the rule around painted teams? Is that because we had an unpainted one yesterday?
No, it's not in the rule book. I mean,
it's very rare.
It is, yeah, rare. I mean, what are you going to do? Send a guy back to Italy?
Yeah. No, I agree.
No, you can't play, mate. Sorry.
And actually, weirdly, for the stream, it kind of worked out better because with them being unpainted, he was far happier to allow us to put skill rings on other players, so it was easy to pick out the catchers by putting extra skill rings on.
Yeah.
So I think it was okay for the stream because we could use skill rings to help mark who players are, and we're even doing it in this game as well. So the yellow ring in the KO bin is just an unskilled catcher, but it's nice to be able to pick the catcher out amongst all the other players who look quite similar, especially from above.
So Stig's going for a couple of dodges here. He's going for the best possible turn, which is fine. He's got reels in the bank. Might as well use him. absolutely bunker down, I think I'd be looking at this square.
Yeah.
Potentially. That's another option. That's also good. Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better. These are the guys that are going to get involved, and the worry is screaming in here and like blitzing this guy, pushing him back to here, and then. So yeah, if the Amazon ended up with a player there and a player there, with this guy on the floor over here, then there'd be a difficult chance of scoring. So you want to be protecting this angle.
Yeah.
Which is why I originally said that square.
Yeah, because then it's just straight on the diagonal.
Yeah.
Much harder to get round. Here we go. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think here is as good as there, but I think it's still mostly done the job. Whereas leaving it somewhere like here,
it makes no difference at all.
Wouldn't have changed anything. So yeah, there's a nice little reposition from Stig there. So here comes a dodge.
Got it. Look at a couple of go for it here.
Yeah.
Oh, another fail go
another
for it.
one. That's the last reroll.
Wow.
Yeah, these go for it's have really, really hurt Panicoblack. Morning, Adric. How are you? Yeah, Corner, it's quite common for people to actually only paint teams based upon wanting to take those teams to a tournament.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few people here who didn't quite get it done and have gone back to an old team.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I think most people do paint their teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a less than 100% section of the society, of the population that doesn't paint just for fun.
Yeah.
That paints for purpose in order to be able to use the thing.
Yeah.
It's probably quite a large proportion.
So yeah, he's using the reroll. Gets the go. I guess you're committed now. Gets the second go. 2-die block on the blitzer.
Well, it's only a push. It's not going to be enough.
And this is quite elementary now. He needs to try and jam some more people in.
Even if this person gets jammed in, I don't think it's going to be.
No, because I think it's some fairly easy blocks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might even see a situation where someone blocks to follow up to touchdown. That'd be quite funky.
Don't get to see that very often.
I had that in a game against Halflings at Cake Bowl one time.
Okay.
Where a guy took a half dice on my skink. With the so he threw the halfling.
Yeah.
It ended up one square short.
Yeah.
So I just jammed a load of skinks in.
Yeah.
And then he had to take a half dice on a skink to score double push touchdown. Oh, that was quite fun. But it was 10-2, so I really wasn't too.
Panicoblack's just 1 in 9 to another dodge.
Oh no! There needs to be a name. Maybe we'll call it the Geggle, where someone's talking about something else and misses a crucial thing. Yeah. So I just geggled again.
Yeah, this is a 2-dice block, not double skulls to score basically.
That pink one, that's the blitzer with Mighty Blow.
Okay, so
he needs a push.
Needs a push, but then he can
but
still.
He's got a blitz afterwards.
Yeah, he's got a number of attempts.
So here we go. Just needs a push.
He's got it.
Gets it.
That's it. Should be a touchdown, unless he gets greedy. Is he eyeing a surf up?
I can guarantee he's not eyeing a surf up.
You gotta do a surfy surf.
You might want a second block.
Oh,
Is he?
absolute greed. Look at this.
He is doing it. He is.
So
that's these two blitz. So this one blocked and this one's blocked, which frees up.
Oh, he's moving the ogre now
He's
instead.
moving the ogre for, I think, just in case. Oh, is he blitzing with the ogre? No.
I'm not sure what's happening. What is he attempting?
I think that's just in case things go wrong.
Oh, so he is going for the surf.
And now I think he's going for the surf here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good move with the ogre. Just a nice little safety move, just in case.
Sure.
So I was completely wrong. I guaranteed something which actually completely failed. So the surf is on, and the crowd say
Nothing.
hello. The crowd say hello. Gives them a soft beverage and a muffin and
Goblin Burger.
Goblin Burger. Some
Bugman 6X.
calm Blood Bowl.
So, very routine out-turn drive. Always in control.
Tackle zone.
Hello,
rolling.
Pub Jess. Yes.
Can I get one?
You can, yes.
Client, just my Fulgin Bowl rolling mat has finally got pre-set it and it's dead and I need something to roll on.
Do you want something for the next couple games?
I'd love one if there's one available, but if not, I'm a bit
It's a
sorry.
different colour. It's a black
I'm
one.
blaming that rolling mat for what happened yesterday. You didn't realise. This is a chance
But now you want to buy one.
I'm blaming me.
Okay.
It's always me. But yes, I shall upgrade my little Fulgin rolling thing from UKTC4.
Wow.
It's finally, and last night one of the aunt's kids stepped on it.
Oh, really?
So it's dead. So this will be my new lovely rolling.
Okay.
How much are these?
Do you want to use this?
Yeah, love to.
Can you use that for today?
Yeah. Love to. Love to. If I get too used to this, I might at the end of the day just say, well, I'd love to.
That's it.
You see how you
Steve's thinking about something. I'm not sure what it is.
You know how we love our toys? Well, this toy is no more, is it?
No.
It needs to go in the drawer of things that don't get used
It's the end of the Asses.
It is the end of the S's.
Yeah.
The reason why I said the end of the Asses there is he was using a Les As dice mat, which is a very, very good French team. Is he thinking about stalling? Is that what he's thinking about?
Is it turn 7? I'm sure it was turn 8.
It's turn 7.
Okay. In that case,
And he's scoring, yeah.
he is scoring. Okay.
Because I think Amazon 2, it's quite unlikely, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Well, I was thinking it was turn 8. In which case, there's definitely a stall on there. I think.
I think that's what he was thinking about, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
should he stall another one? And
Yeah.
he kind of bottled it. I butchered some Shakespeare
Oh yeah.
and converted the to be or not to be speech to convey my emotions when I'm thinking about whether I should stall or not. And the answer is almost always just score. Just score.
Okay.
Bottle it.
No, you've always got to squeeze that stall out. Touchdown isn't. It's not a real touchdown unless you score it in turn 8.
Yeah.
It's like 0.7 of a touchdown.
There's lots in there where you're thinking, but what if I roll a double skull? What if I this? What if I that?
It's
When he himself rolled 2 blitz.
a psychological warfare. You need to let your opponent know that you are dominant.
So it's important that Stig here does not give up the flanks. This is too narrow. I think if he protects the flanks, he can almost certainly kill any 2-turn drive. He's gone too narrow though. He's going way too narrow.
Yeah, this is interesting.
He can't give up the flanks here. He's got to have a think. Have a think, mate. It's gone a little bit wider. But it's interesting. He's taken an extra player, so he's back up to 11. So he could have the purple chest defense. Well, it's not the purple chest defense, but it's the defense that purple chest was using yesterday, which just covers the flanks. But I'd be very happy if I were Panico.
Absolutely. I mean, any shallow kick whatsoever, and then you can just have a cage here.
Yeah.
And even humans are probably going to struggle to get everybody. Well, maybe they could. It depends. I mean, this side with the ogre is a lot less vulnerable, but this side in particular,
With Carla exposed
Carla,
as well.
if you can blitz Carla and then maybe get a person there, you can have a nice cage here. Scoring 2 quite easily.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to read some butchered Shakespeare, guys, I've just posted a link up. Yeah, still, I think stalling was the right option, and with Stig's narrow defence, it may really come back to bite him here. So chat has given up on watching Blood Bowl and they're obsessed with Panico's watch.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's quite shiny.
Well, I think he's got one on... I think the watch is on his right arm.
Oh, what's the other
Has he got
thing?
2 watches? We'll have to go check that out later.
Yeah, Mars's team is quite shiny. I can confirm that.
Yeah.
Just going to check on our stunty heroes. Fortunately, Purple Goose Goblins are 1-0 down. Trying to throw Doom Divers at the ball.
Yes.
But Will's Halflings are 1-0 up at half time, having driven in 8 turns. So,
Oh my god.
looking in a reasonably good position.
He's got an outside shot of hitting the final if he wins his next
Can you
one,
imagine K-Food Dark Elves against Halflings in the final?
Oh my god, what nonsense.
So I was aware. It looks like Panico set up to dive down this sideline, and then the ball landed here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there was quick snap was the kickoff, which is why the players have all just popped over the line one. I think this is the point of the game as well for Panico, where you've been burnt by Go For It so much that you just don't want to take any. So quick little block here just to free up another player for the screen. Gets the knockdown. This is the Mighty Blow Blitzer. And it's through armor without using Mighty Blow, 10 on the armor roll. 6 up to a 7, still a stun. And that's freed up a player to come around. A bit more ball security and a 2-die block on that lineman. Well, I mean, this is only game 4, but it does look like K-Food has a strong shot at the final. Is it only 8 players on 3 wins?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, so there's only 8 players on 3 wins after the first day. He's one of them. And there's a good chance there's going to be a couple of draws in those top games.
Yeah, we only said that because K-Food is...
Hi everybody, 1 hour left in this round. You guys should be moving into the second half now. And then just a reminder that if you want your team to be nominated for Best Painted and displayed on the tables over here, if you could just, once you finish your game, come up with your team and we'll get that sorted out.
Yeah, K-Food is a previous 2-time winner of this event, one of the strongest players left in the event, and he's got Dark Elves, which are, at this stage, probably the best team around. So he looks like a very firm favourite.
Hat-trick of NAF Championships.
Wow, that would be something special.
Meanwhile here, Panicoblack has made the pickup and has formed a light screen, but there's a little bit of a gap that needs addressing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem that Dan was discussing at the start of this drive, like just leaving the flanks open here has just given Panico a free shot.
So here's the dodge. That looks like, is his hand? No, that is, I can see his hand. It looks like the screen is frozen on that dice cam, but it is, he's just holding his hands over the dice cup. And now the gap is plugged. I thought the webcam was frozen then, it was so still. It was. You quite often, because it's a bit different to the online game where you kind of press a button and then it just rolls the dice for you. Quite a lot of those important dice rolls, people will put the dice cup down and then not think about it, or sometimes just kind of scrape the dice off the table back into their hand to like have a bit of a think.
Yeah.
So yeah, until you've lifted the dice cup, it doesn't count.
Well, joined here by Blood Bowl legend and dwarf hater Hef.
Am I? Are you joined? I was just coming to say hello.
Hello Hef, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine. I've just drawn.
We have Stig on stream. So Stig is a teacher for the guys that don't know. So the kids that he teaches will probably want to watch this on YouTube. Hef.
Depends whether he's losing or not.
He's winning. Well, my
He's
God.
1-0 up.
Yeah, they'd be much more interested in watching it when Sir
Just reminded me,
kicked.
I haven't. Yeah, they absolutely would.
Yeah. What turn are we on?
This is first half still, turn 8 for Steve. Yeah, we're not using World Cup rules exactly, but it is extra skills on day 2 here as well.
Should really have updated the info at the top. So it's still at the end of the first half, Panico attempting a 2-turner. So Stig looked like he was in all sorts of trouble. A real squeeze, Carla got surfed. But then Panico probably wasn't quite aggressive enough. And then ended up double one-ing a Go For It, which allowed Steve to basically just run into the corner. But then on the 2-10 attempt, Stig didn't cover the flanks. He went for 2 centralised, which has allowed the Amazons to run down.
But it's Amazons, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 8 out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Ooh.
And no rerolls.
8 out and no rerolls.
No rerolls. I would
The
just.
whiteboard's gone.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll add it back to you.
With no rerolls, seems like the best bet would just be. It's difficult though, isn't it? Because you want to just double bank over here, make it really difficult for the ball carrier to get through. But then these two guys
So it's, yeah.
are also technically within scoring range.
Yes.
So the humans have to deal with those people as well.
So I think the catcher can. So the catcher can make it without any goes. Oh, it's looking at that one.
Well, catches in a zone.
Oh yes. So that was a blitzer with a go for it. So these ones are easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so this lineman would block. Here we'll be looking to head to there.
Again,
Thinking about trying to,
you need to be thinking about moving this ogre first, as then you can build the rest of the turn around it, depending on whether it activates or not. Because obviously it can't stay where it is; it does nothing.
I think what I probably would have done here, rather than like those two fine down here, these two, I don't think you necessarily need a flat line here, which is normally the strongest defence. I probably would have looked to put the blocker guy there, blitz this player, and then move the ogre in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then try and form a bit of something here as well, and then maybe you can get some blocks on these people.
Sure.
It's still a bit fringe, but now what you're trying to do is, with Panico not having a reroll, if you can force him to at some point have to roll a 5.
Well, Steve has done something similar there, that you used a blitz on the ogre, and got the POW as well.
Painful. So Mighty Blow on this.
Oh.
Doesn't need it. He means business.
Oh, double 6. Oh,
he's
a bit dead.
Didn't even need Mighty Blow. Straight through. Double 6, double 5.
That blitzer is out of there.
That blitzer is out of it. Or as one of my opponents once said to me at Dungeon Bowl, my blitzer is kaput.
So
Wow.
you put him on the ball carrier, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Although that's interesting there, putting him here makes it quite easy for
Because it's giving up just the block.
or just get blocked off. These two, one of these two guys, moving one of these guys who aren't going to do anything, block him off for 2 dice, and then
Put him. That helps.
it does. Well, there is guard, so
No, I think the 2 guarders are
Oh,
up the
they're
top.
over here, aren't they?
The 2
Yes.
guarders are up there now.
well, you can still just move to here.
So there's a dodge here from the catcher.
There's a lot of dodging going on.
Makes it.
There is, isn't there?
I might put them forward then. It doesn't basically matter.
Yeah, so we did an article on the tackle zone about the importance of when you're doing like a screen to try and make sure it's as flat as possible, because it's much harder for people to run through. Obviously, things in Blood Bowl are situational. Here is not kind of a traditional screen. The traditional screen is for when your opponent is also kind of flattish. In this situation, I think you want to start filling here as well. Because you can potentially block here, potentially dodge and hand off, dodge and throw.
And running on the background.
And all you need is just a load of 3s, and it's possible.
Yeah.
What Stig should be looking for is to try and make something at least a 5 in the sequence.
Well, there's a number of really easy outs here as well, because this guy's the catcher. If you can get rid of this ogre, she can just come round here.
Yeah.
And you have to go diagonally now because she's moved. No, she's 8 away, so she can't go.
Oh yeah, she has to go on a slight diagonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go, hand off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. So 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, following a block, leaving anything but a double skull.
Yeah. Yeah, and suddenly your carefully prepared screen is kaput,
Yeah,
as they would say at Dungeon Bowl.
Yes. Yes. He was very upset about his blitzer going kaput.
Yeah, my game, the guy was very defensive. He was timid. Timid. He wouldn't.
Afraid of the goblins.
Well, no, he killed all the goblins. So he was 4 players up,
Okay.
and he stood off from me.
Oh.
And it was like, well, that's fine because I don't act. I just want to get into the next half on 1-0 down. That's all I require from this.
Yeah.
So you staying away from me is absolutely what I want. And he took the corner off my cage and then put nobody against my ball carrier. And it's like, oh, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
And then second half, I just deleted his team with 4 mighty blow
Well, I mean,
and got a draw out of it.
it's a good strategy, isn't it?
Well played.
Do whatever you like in the first half, and then delete them in the second half.
Yeah. Easy game, easy life.
So,
No, Purple Chest tried that yesterday.
Oh, you did? It didn't work.
Didn't quite work, did
Didn't
it?
work.
Didn't quite work.
yeah, my fouling strategy failed, and then so second half was just standard orcs.
I'm not sure your fouling strategy is technically a strategy, but
No, it's just I like to hit things on the floor.
yeah.
If it was a strategy, people would have dirty player.
So Corn Knight has said, do the Zons have any rerolls left? No, they don't. You're right, 2-2-3-2-2 is a lot of dice, but it's a lot of easy dice.
Yeah, but when you add them all up, it becomes a hard dice.
But if you need 6 2 pluses, that's about 50-50.
Yeah.
The question is, could he have made it harder? It's not whether the dice are easy
Yeah.
or hard. It's
Oh, there he goes.
And I think at some point you need, especially with no rerolls, at some point you need a 5 in there, and then things become really difficult. There's the ones out of the way.
Oh, he's going for a dodge rather than to go for it, which
Yeah.
is the correct decision. That is better option. Wow.
Oh.
The catch. Catch has failed. It still work. Well, this is
He needs a 2 on the scatter. He needs a 2 on the scatter. It's a 5. Wow.
well. I mean, Stig's got away with that a little bit. I mean, I guess no rerolls to the Amazons meant there was always going to be a chance, but there was definitely a possibility to make it a little bit more difficult.
Right, I'm going to go and collect my ship.
Cool. See you later, mate.
You're going to let me back?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sure.
So that was a 41.2% chance. So the 3 with the dodge reroll,
Yeah.
the 3 up handoff, and the 2 ups with no team rerolls covering it was 41.2%. And I think in that situation, that's too high.
Absolutely.
Like, you spent a lot of effort in your turn to give someone a 41% chance.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it was really only the extra 3 up, because you probably would have forced a dodge anyway from, like, maybe the ball carrier.
Yeah.
So even if there was no screen, they would still need the 2 up. So they kind of neutralised.
Yeah.
So really that was a lot of movements to force one handoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you only cut down the scoring chance by a third. So weirdly, this situation is actually a much better one for this defence, because now you're not seeking to protect the flanks, because you're not trying to stop the 2-turner. So if Panico flies down a flank, you're absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, Adric, my fantasy football this year has been absolutely catastrophic. Normally I do fine, not amazing, but this year has been just absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, Corn Knight 2-2-3-2-2 is a 32% play, but then as Joe said, Panicoblack spotted that he could swap the first two 2s for a 3+ with dodge reroll. So he swapped a dodge for 2 go for it's, which improved it to 41%. I stopped playing fantasy football in 2010
Yeah.
because the website told me that Drogba was unavailable.
Okay.
So he was my captain and I dropped him from my team.
Yeah.
And then he scored a hat-trick.
What?
And I've rage quit fantasy football ever since.
You lied to me. Why would you lie?
Nine years later, hashtag not bitter.
Yeah, it's like crack. I just want to get it out of my life as quickly as possible. But somehow I just keep using.
So I think the players, Stig's just left the table, I think going for a comfort break. Panicoblack is still there, I think having a bit of a think. Oh no, is that his setup? No, I think he's just, I think that is his setup. So he's just waiting for Stig to come back to restart the game.
Yeah.
And I think I will pop off as well for a moment.
I mean, this non-symmetrical setup from Panicoblack is deeply upsetting to my OCD.
This guy, I like when you reveal your weaknesses to me, Joe. I think I'm just going to go for asymmetric setups against you from now on.
It just drives
Just to drive you into a rage.
It just drives my fury even more. You just take the brunt of it.
Like when I block skeletons.
Yeah. Well, whilst the players are just taking a break, I'm going to quickly just check on the scores. Oh, it looks like Steve's back, so off we go. Looks like we've got some cheering fans, extra rerolls. This is going to be great for both teams, low on rerolls here. And it looks like Steve won that roll. Panico obviously be very, very keen to try and win it, given that he lost his leader in the first half. What's interesting again from Panicoblack here is that this ball is in a quite a troublesome position, so you want to be moving one player over to cover it before you make the pickup roll, just in case you roll a double skulls or something. So one of these two people, the one that isn't going to pick up the ball, needs to be moving over to this square here to protect it. It's pretty basic stuff. And then these two guys, yeah, he's good, he's moving them finally, but these two guys, knowing the ball, they need to be getting involved again. Just moving over to be in position in the next turn to do something valuable. It looks like Panicoblack is focusing on trying to hit Carla.
So yeah, I think Purple Goo lost his game. I asked him if the dream is over, and he said the dream died in turn 3, and he's got a bit. So
Okay. How's Will doing?
Didn't ask, but he looked his normal things are going well face.
Okay. Well,
which is very similar to his things are not going very well face.
so Panico has played his whole turn before getting anywhere near the ball.
Oh.
7 squares away from the ball up until this very point.
Wow. I mean, fair enough, don't go for the pickup, especially on the sideline, but
Yeah,
have someone hovering over there in case something goes wrong.
absolutely.
Because you double skull, and then your whole...
Well, you've got 2 rerolls. You have to use your reroll.
Yeah.
And then
Ooh.
Got the pickup. Okay.
Oh, another good input from Jim there.
Thanks, Jim.
For the guys that don't know, Jim is actually chief organizer of this tournament, and therefore
A wholly responsible and
Yeah.
grown-up person.
how do I ban people from chat? Well, that obviously is a link to Steve Coogan shouting Dan.
Right-click on his name.
Right click on his name.
No.
Should we give him a timeout?
Time out.
How do we give him a...
No, that would just be from Twitch, not from the stream.
I think we just need to give Jim a timeout. I think in real life, I don't mean in Twitch. He just needs to go and sit on some stairs for 5 minutes.
Yeah, sit on the thinking step.
Consider what he's done. So we got some bashy. Maybe from Stig here. Here goes a Garda.
So it looks like Stig's going for a full contact defence here, which trying to cause as many problems as possible.
Well, it is a good option to do some damage. Just for those that have joined us fresh, this is Kala, so that's the slightly larger base, and we have another Kala as well on the other side. Which is that one. So this pink one here is the Mighty Blow Blitzer, and then this one here is the other Kala. So we've got Kala into Kala. So Jiminy has asked, where is the claw pom?
Well, Jim's in charge. I mean, if he wanted to see claw pom, he should have made it available in the rules.
Yeah. We should just write the fool that wrote the NAF championship rules didn't allow it.
Who is that guy?
Total idiot.
Not sure about that move. I mean, the play is clearly coming down here. So moving one of your players from here to here does not seem like a particularly good move. Like, if he wants that assist, at the very least, just move him to there, so that he's got a better chance of coming back round next turn.
But the thing is, couldn't you, without that catcher there, because this is a guard piece,
Yeah.
you could have blocked their Garda
Yeah,
for 2 dice,
and then not have to move the player
and
at
then
all.
not had to move the player at all, and then cross-block that back to that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now this player's in contact, which,
In contact and as far away as possible from.
yeah. Although Panico has
It's recentered.
immediately resented. So there we go.
It's interesting to see how he behaves here because he's going to probably thinking, I need to win this game to have any chance of getting in the final.
Yes.
So, does he put it in quickly? Nothing can get Claw Pom the 3 skill combo. Claw, Mighty Blow and Piling On. A couple of big guys can get 2 of the skills.
Yeah, so probably a Yeti, Claw, Mighty Blow is what you're going to see most commonly.
Yeah, the Minotaur from the Chaos team is another. Going to be a very common sight at the World Cup coming up later this year.
Yeah, there's going to be loads of Chaos teams in that with the kind tiering.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I'm absolutely convinced that Amazons are going to be the meta breaker pick for the tournament because they just completely nullify Clawpom Chaos.
Yeah.
Like, you've got 14 players deep and Claw doesn't work anyway.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, are you guys? Is anyone taking Chaos?
No.
From your group? Your tier
Maybe
1?
Phil, we haven't decided. Phil always gets something fruity.
Yeah. Fruity man, fruity team.
Yeah.
How are humans looking in the World Cup rules?
Yeah, they're in the. We've got an 8 or a 9 teams.
Yeah.
Like we're fixed on 4, and then we need to fill the remaining 2 spots.
Talk to me about my weird roster. So, but I'm back. Bad luck. What have I missed?
Welcome back, Kev. So, nothing really. It's been a fairly calm beginning of the second half. Lots of contacts, not many knockdowns.
Stig got a reroll of the kickoff.
So I'm off to Tillian Team Cup in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And Food is on my team, and he will be practicing his World Cup Underworld.
Oh wow.
And J-Bone will be practicing his World Cup Chaos.
Does anybody know?
And Deep Down will have lizards.
Does anybody know how J-Bone is doing?
Oh, hopefully terribly.
Yeah, well, we really hope so.
Well, I mean, if you can beat Champus with goblins, then
I was beating him with orcs with goblins.
Oh, I didn't mean in the game. I just meant
in life.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's always.
Well, just playing Chankers.
Oh, yeah.
Hi everybody, 30 minutes left in this round. There's 30 minutes left in round 4.
No, J-Bone brought
Also, just to make you all aware,
goblins
at
to
the
NAF
back of the room,
Championship.
at the Thrud stand, there's the charity block dice rolling competition with some pretty good prizes. So it's £1 to go. Just at the back of the room by the Thrud ball stand.
So this is actually quite interesting. We've had a 30-minute call and we're on turn 2 of the second half. So I think they're both saying we need to speed up.
Well, you can play through lunch, and so.
Yeah, so it's not as urgent on this one. But even so, they probably do need to pick the pace up a little bit.
There is an argument that actually, if it's 2.25 hours, it's 2.25 hours.
Yeah, but I think in that case, what you need to say is it's not 2.25 hours. It's an hour for each player on their drive, and then 15 minutes of filler.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you get into a situation where I will take an hour and a half on my drive,
and you're going like this,
and now you've got 40 minutes
like
to
at the World
equalise.
Cup when our last game at Looker. And
it was Wish Wellingtons.
Wish was playing, and this guy was like just taking, and I was going there. I was the captain. I was going. You've got a minute. You've got 40 seconds. You've got 30 seconds. You've got 20 seconds, and he finished with something like 25 seconds to go.
Yeah.
He said he finally said that's it, and Wish goes chunk, fails to make a score. I mean, he took the entire turn in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Literally, he planned it all out, and he was like dong. And as he fell over, it left, and I just said, "That's it, the game's over." The guy went ape shit. You know, I was like, I gave you 4 warnings.
Yeah.
You know, and it was day 3. We'd all lost turns because people had done that to us.
Yeah, that's the problem. People are always trying to take advantage of that, and it's if you're going to be hard about the time, which I don't know, it's just a game. I don't know why you should. You need to have it on clock from the start of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
which is good.
Most of the time, but like I've had a game against I played Mubo at Dungeon Bowl, and he quite wisely sat down and said, okay, we're both quite slow players, should we go on a clock right from the beginning?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm totally fine with that, because then it's all fair and above board.
Oh, I'd love to play on the clock. Like I'm a quick player, so I'd win in that race.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, we played 16 turns with an hour left.
It's one of the interesting things in Guild Ball as well, because you've got a strict clock in that, and you have to get all of your moves done in your time, and you lose points if your clock runs out. So it does force people to play within the limits of the time. No, J-Bone has not gone with the Hail Mary bomber build. He's just gone for just a generally normal, flat J-Bone terrible build.
And he's playing a guy who's playing dwarves with 6 guard,
which is probably suboptimal against goblins.
Which is probably suboptimal against goblins, but is like as boring as dwarves should be.
Yes. I don't know. I think more than 4 guard is
it's
wasteful.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I can, you've not lived until you played a guy who's got 10 guard.
I like that cake bowl.
That is a cake bowl.
Yeah.
I played a guy with Rubik with 10 dwarves and 10 dwarves with guard, and I've still not forgiven him. And it was 4 years ago.
I played J-Bone's dwarves at a cake bowl, and he was either 6 or 8 guards, and I beat him. And I mean, I'm not saying that this was at all related, but he did go home after that game.
Yeah. Good.
But there we go. Exactly, Adrian. 100% agree. No less than he deserves, and he deserves nothing. So there we go. Also, if any of you ever see J-Bone in real life, ask him if Wolfen has his slan team yet. Hashtag spoiler alert. The answer is no, I don't.
Where is he looking?
I'm having a bit of a look around the room. We've got an ECBBL grudge match between Avow and White Hot, not too far from us.
Yeah.
Oh no, mate! You got to look far further left for J-Bone.
J-Bone's down among the dead men, is he?
Well, he's playing Chankus,
Well, yeah. So
it's not going to be too high. It's not going to be too high.
And my plan with my team build was to be down among the dead men.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. I'm in mid-table with people who can play. That's not what it's supposed to be.
It's outrageous.
I handicapped myself deliberately so I could be amongst the shit.
Thanks. That's another editing for the YouTube upload I have to do.
Oh, sorry about that. Bad words not allowed, yeah?
Not for this one, because Stig's kids are gonna watch it.
I was sat next to Stig's kids yesterday.
Yeah.
And
well,
And I went up to Stig
Yeah.
and I said hello and used many bad words and gave him a big man hug.
That's fine.
And
That's fine when you get in trouble, not me.
they didn't get in trouble. These kids looked at me and like, yeah, when are you going to use a word I don't know?
So Panico he's caused a couple of knockdowns here, but no armor breaks. But it has left him a bit of a gap to push forward. And yeah, Panico has to decide here whether he's going to play for a draw or whether he's going to push for a win. Now, the nature of the NAF Championship is such that there is a final after 5 rounds, which means there's a very good chance you need to be on 5 wins at that point. These guys are both on 3 wins. This is game 4. So if there's a draw here,
it knocks them both out of contention.
Pretty much guaranteed to knock them both out of contention. But even if there are lots of other people on draws, it's now pot luck amongst a dozen other players, which is not good odds. So unlike maybe a team tournament where you'd happily settle for a draw just to help the team over the line, here Panico really needs to push for a win if he's got his eyes on the NAF Championship crown.
As does Stig. Well, Stig's winning at the moment.
Yeah, I think
Stig needs to stop
it's more Panico's choice here. So yeah, Stig has to decide, is he gonna go all in or is he gonna hold off? Oh, it's another.
Ooh.
It's another one on the go for it.
Oh, he's got the Willy Amazon team. They're nice.
Yeah, they're a really nice team. Very nicely painted.
And-
Stig's team's beautifully painted as well.
And sculpted by that female sculptor. What's her name? I want to say random, but it's not. It's something like that. Spanish woman.
Okay. Let's see if we can find out.
What's her name? Rumour, I think it is. I'm burbling now.
So Stig just getting a push there. No, I can't find. Yeah, so Stig has gone aggressive, definitely trying to go for the win here. The Ogre has pressed in.
Rumour.
Oh, Rumor.
Yeah. So, but they are lovely. They are lovely figures. They're on my Thor pile to get painted.
Excellent.
So, where's Stig? Oh, he's piling in, isn't he?
Yeah, he's absolutely
Well, you have to really. I
going
think.
aggressive. Yeah, I think he needs it. If he can force something like a 1 and 9.
Or if you can get that moment where you actually start
Yeah,
sort of knocking people out, and Armour 7 starts playing against you.
that's it. And we're joined in the Tackle Zone studio by San. Hello, San. How are you?
I'm very well.
So we've got Panico against Stig. Stig managed to score in his drive in 7, and then just about kept out Panico's 2-turner.
Yep.
And now it's Panico's drive. So this is table 2. Both are on 3 wins. So Panico now has to decide: is he going to sort of just play for the draw, or is he going to push for an early score to get the win?
This is where he needs to know what's happened on the other tables.
Yeah.
So at least one of them. No, actually, no. That was table 6. Purple Goo was on table 6 with the goblins, and he lost. But
Yes.
because there's 4 tables on 3 wins, aren't there?
That's
basically?
right. Yes. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Let's have a little look. See, looks like all 3 of those games are still in progress.
Oh, so there's no. Oh, so that was table 2 and it's moved over there. So there's no
Yeah.
actual table
So there's
2.
no actual table 2.
Oh, okay, so everyone's still
that's why
going.
there's a gap.
Yeah, this is where the meta comes in, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we were saying even if there are quite a few draws and people end up being able to get into the final on a 4-1-0,
Yeah.
there's probably one spot for a 4-1-0 from a dozen people. So
Yeah,
even that
exactly.
is way too.
So then we roll a d12.
Yeah, exactly. So your chances are probably better to just try and win this game and suck up a loss to experience than it is to hope for that sort of 1 in 10, 1 in 12 chance of being the person that sneaks through.
Yeah.
Last year we had 3 people on 5-0, which was
Yeah,
Justicium, a fantastic French player, ended up missing out, having won 5 games.
Yeah. Speaking of rolling d12s, I got to throw a rock result in my game and had to roll a d6. Because I was playing against Wood Elves and they all died. So that was fun.
Excellent.
I was fouling like a person who fouls a lot.
Yeah.
and in the first 3 turns, 3 of my goblins got sent off for no damage. I ended up having to stop fouling, which is horrendous. It was awful.
It's game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man.
How many rerolls has Stig got? Is that 3 on his pile?
Yeah, so he started with 1 and leader, and he won 1 from the kickoff, so he's got 2 in leader. And Panico has 2 and leader, but his leader died.
Oh man.
So he's just got the 2, and he basically spent them all on go for it in the first half, but he's got both now.
So I just went over to look at the game live. It's so weird seeing the models in 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
Did you look at the other tables at all? The top 3. We were just saying, what should Panico's strategy be? Go for the win, or?
Well, you have to go for the win regardless. I think you can't just hope for draws in both this round and the next round. I mean, it depends what you're playing for. Like, I'd take the draw. I've won enough majors. I don't need to prove anything.
So yeah, I think with both Carla and the Ogre in contact with the ball carrier, it kind of forces there to be a dodge out. So it looks like Panico is just trying to form a bit of a screen for the ball carrier to run into.
But obviously big problems if the dodge fail.
Yeah. I really want to try this team now. I like humans a lot, and Carla seems like a really nice fit.
Which is quite cheap for what she is.
Yeah. Because there's a Zug roster, which is really cool, but you have to drop a Blitzer to get it.
I'm not sure I would have not moved this player until I'd made the dodge.
Yeah.
Because now if the ball scatters back, he's in trouble. Whereas where the player was before here, the first one.
Here we are.
Oh! How sad. So yeah, if that had failed and the ball had scattered there, they're off.
Wasn't that 1 and a 1? Was it?
1 and 3.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 1 and a 3. Just made it.
Exciting.
Oh, there's another
2.
into a 5.
It's just always the Amazon way, isn't it?
Yeah,
They always fail the first
Gotta
one.
use the dodge.
Yeah.
Just such a tease.
Well, Stig's got most of his players still free, so if you're looking to blitz this person, whatever square they're in, hovering between 2 squares, and forming up a defence here.
The dots are superimposed, though.
No, they're
on the pitch.
I mean, just this player is standing in there.
I was wondering if it was because they were.
No, it's one of the things I learned from watching other people do it was how important it has to have the white dots with the blacks around, so you can actually see the squares clearly.
That's a good idea.
And then make the rest of the pitch as lightly coloured as possible.
Yeah.
So that you can see the models against it.
Apart from the essential branding in the middle.
You've got to have some branding. No, it's really good. The Alex at FF Fields, because obviously he's inundated with orders, and I ordered the pitch fairly late before Eurobowl, so I said, get it to me quickly so that I can do it, and then put your own logo at the top here.
Okay, yeah.
So it gets a little bit of advertising as a thank you for getting the pitch done so quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys are ever looking for a custom-made pitch, do go to FF-Fields. They do some really nice ones. If you want, you can have loads of custom artwork, which can get a bit pricey. But if you just want a basic board, they're quite cheap. So yeah, highly recommend those. Very
And
good
they do
boards.
jigsaw boards as well, which are really good because they actually fit in a normal size bag, and you just carry them around with you in your rucksack or whatever.
Yeah. So this is a 12-piece jigsaw board, so you can see how well they fit together. in the game yesterday with Purple Chest, they'd actually moved the tablecloth so the ball was slightly over the edge, which is why he was leaning on it. You could see the jigsaw coming out.
Okay.
So that was one of the other little fixes this morning.
How are you doing, Mike? What's your record so far?
2 wins, 2 draws.
Okay, what are you using?
Dark Elves.
Okay.
I've had amazing first halves all the way through, and then just bizarre second halves. Kept Hawker out with his Wood Elves, and then stalled too long. I didn't want to give him his turn 16 back, but he managed to get enough pressure on, and then I rolled a Snake Eyes in my turn 16.
Why do we do it to ourselves?
Lovely, lovely.
It's fun.
As you think, 2.25 hours of rolling dice and moving models around, only to double up.
Hi everybody, 15 minutes left. If you can get your results slipped in as soon as you're done, that'd be great. Thank you.
Oh, it looks like Steve might be going for something funky in the chain push variety.
Yeah. Good idea though, just to jam as many
exactly,
into a
just-
box as possible.
Yeah. Because all yours are on the outside, so it's not going to go.
Because if he does get some sort of chain like that, and then this player, well, let's draw that better. Then this player 1, 2, 3, 4 into something like that. You start to form a bit of a box.
Right, it forms a box at the back of the cage. Unfortunately, the direction that the cage is moving is this way.
Yeah, well, there'll be other things. I'm not saying that's the only thing he's going to do.
The voice of experience.
2 moves, that's it, that's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't not going backwards, mate. You
Oh,
ain't retreating.
But the ogre's bones.
Oh,
So-
it's huge.
You can still make a block from Carla.
It's huge. The Carla's already blocked.
Oh, right.
There we go.
Oh,
now
yeah,
the
yeah.
player's in the square.
No, he wasn't that square. Okay.
Which one was he in?
He was definitely more in the other one.
He was, wasn't he?
He was. It's half an hour, so he could change his mind halfway through. Brilliant. Oh, he's come back.
Oh, he's got back. Okay,
Okay.
good. That did seem
I thought we
like,
could have some controversy there.
because I'm not sure it could have. Yeah, I'm not sure it could have got around there anyway.
So that's thrower at the top, isn't it? Who's sort of out the game a bit.
Yeah. Oh, this is. Don't do this. Don't do it, Steve. This player needs to come back over here. Do not run him round the back.
Round the back. Round the back.
Oh, one of my most frustrating NAF Championship memories was when I was playing against Jeff Borrett's Dwarves with my Lizardmen, and I had him in a load of pressure and decided to go round the back of the cage with the Croxicle just to absolutely
Shake him up.
and it just got completely isolated out of the play, and then 181 block later, and suddenly I've drawn the game. It's like, but like the mistake was in moving the Croxicle.
Yeah. So that's the leader thrower.
Jigsaw pitches white cleave, I hope we're hearing. Bizarre.
I mean,
Is that true?
I've never had to,
No.
but they do. Yeah.
I
They
have had little bits of liquid on it, like so.
I suppose
Yeah.
so. I suppose so. You wouldn't want
makes
to test it
sense.
too much, would you?
No.
but yeah, they've got a wipeable surface.
Just like every other part of Dan's household, white clean.
Yeah, I just put down lots of plastic everywhere. So.
People walk into your house and think it's a scene from American Psycho.
And that's the last thing they ever see.
Huey Lewis in the news being the last thing they ever hear.
So would you not been tempted to put, I don't know, somewhere around the back? I don't know, because then you can just retreat a little bit. Can't you?
Well, that's great because you're 1-0 up.
Especially.
So, yeah, if I see on turn 5, if I see my opponent going this way when I'm 1-0 up, I'm pretty happy. Because then I just get to go back over here next turn. And,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of pressure that you thought Panico would put in the first half, on about turn 3 or 4,
Yes.
when he stood off a little bit.
More contact. Because both of them have got plenty of guards, so if you've got the option
Oh,
to pick
one dice pow.
your position.
Big rolling.
That was the blitz, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. Not through the arm.
Why is he putting them in?
What square is it?
That's why I was asking whether it was overlaid. Maybe it's to put them further away from the sidelines, so the psychological.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, edge them away. That was a bit of a 2-square push as well.
Oh, this is looking a bit harum-scarum. All sorts of options here for Steve next turn.
So that blitzer at the back is going to be surfing the ball carrier, isn't he? Really?
You would think so. I mean, you
He's got
can
2 squares to fill in. Yeah.
so fill that square,
Yeah.
fill that square from any of these blocks, like multiple opportunities.
The only thing to slightly bear in mind is that the yellow ring one is the strength 2 catcher.
Okay.
So that makes it a little bit more difficult. Although, is there an option to chain push the catcher into there?
There is. Oh, maybe not now. He's moved this guy.
Maybe block into there,
Yeah.
block into there, half dice on the ball carrier.
I think he's actually got easier options than that. I think he might be able to get a 2 dice from here into here
Yeah.
to get rid of him. Chain pushed if he can fill those 2 squares. Like, you're definitely right that it definitely is an option with the catcher,
Yeah.
but half dice might not be necessary. You might be able to get it 2 dice.
Well, that could always be a backup, couldn't it? If you can fill this one and then put the catcher into this one,
Yeah.
then the 2 dice, and if that doesn't work, then the half dice.
Yeah.
So yeah, multiple options from Steve here. But then of course the ball will land over here, and he'll just pick it up and score in that corner.
Nice.
So you had it here first. I've realised now, if I predict every possibility,
Yeah. And then just
I look
edit
like
it
a genius.
afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You just clip it so in on YouTube it's only the one where you said the thing that happened.
Have you ever watched that Darren Brown video? It's an excellent one where he predicts 10 rolls he predicts 10 heads in a row.
Yeah.
And he did it by just recording 16 hours of him flipping coins
Till he got 10
until he got
heads in a
10
row.
heads in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, Steve's going for it. Spotted it.
Definitely. He was listening.
So this blitzer blocking this person, I imagine, to fill that square, and
Yeah.
then you can use get an assist round maybe to here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if this guy goes,
If that guy goes down, you just stand him up.
yeah.
This is a big moment.
Freeing a guy up there. That's interesting. He's blocked away with the guy who needed to do the block. So, okay.
Oh, maybe he didn't spot it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Unless he's going to, because he hasn't blitzed you, has he?
No. Interesting. Wow, okay.
Are you doing anything with the what they're saying?
No. Just let them enjoy the game.
Funny idea.
Well, that is a let-off for Panicoblack there. That was absolutely a very, very easy surf on the ball carrier there. 3 2-dice blocks needing a push, and he's in the crowd. Fortunately, Steve's missed it.
And now the ball carrier isn't even in contact So if Panico wanted to, could just blitz this one away because this is a guard piece.
Yeah.
So 1, 2 for the hit, even on a push. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 go. Assuming nothing else goes on.
I think he's still going for the surf though, but I think he's going to do it a different way.
Yeah, because this one stood up, right?
No, that one hasn't moved.
That's the one that hasn't moved. No, I think he blocked with that one
Oh, okay.
and is now blocking with that.
There's another player who's like, oh, he's been hit.
But he should have done that
so he's done
first.
that. Yeah.
Because now that would have been 2 dice.
Yeah,
instead of
absolutely.
1 dice. And the surf. Yeah, he got that the wrong way round.
Wow.
But it's still happening.
I don't think so. He hasn't got a player to do the surf. This guy's already activated.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so Kana took a block, so Kana's
okay.
activated. That one blocked the mighty blow.
Okay.
This one hasn't activated.
Yeah.
That one has.
So let's say this one has, this one has, this one has. These 2 stood up, and that has blocked.
Oh, okay.
So there's not. I don't think there's even a surf on now.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, pressure probably got to him there. So dodging out. So I think this is
Well, there we go.
the blip. It's just a dodge.
Well, it's a strength 2 catcher. So he's just covering the.
Just covering the dive up the line. I mean, it's not. Relatively, it's bad because of what could have been, but the position here for Steve isn't actually terrible because people are still squashed up. It's not good.
Can still run backwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's relative though, isn't it? Relatively, it is terrible. Like,
Yeah,
the difference,
relatively it is.
The difference between having the ball carrier in the
Yeah.
crowd and having the ball, and this.
Because this player can stand up. 1 die potential push there, and then the blitz. So, but yeah, the ball should be in the crowd.
When you were designing your streaming pitch, did you consider grid references? Fumble style.
I thought about that, but then
Got a whiteboard.
I knew that we've got a whiteboard overlay, and I thought that was
yeah.
easier than just
Yeah,
calling
definitely.
out grids.
Yeah, I do like the overlay, it's good fun. It's my favourite word. So a prediction for where the ball's going to end up this turn.
Yes.
I mean, all of these players around here, towards the back, have put Panico in a position where he can only go forward, really.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
What is going on? Oh.
Would you have expected Stig to spot that?
Yeah.
You played him a bit, haven't you? Same
Stig's
league.
a good player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he should have spotted.
Hi everybody, the round has now ended. But if you've only got a couple of turns left and you and your opponent both okay with it, you could play on into lunch a little bit. Leipziger is coming round. You do not want to make him angry.
Not sure I can tell the difference. So a KO there,
Oh,
the
one
one
dice.
die.
It's a 2 dice
Yeah,
blitz
it's-
for the
this-
score, isn't it?
I mean, he only needed the push there anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
so
He's got a
good
KO.
gravy to get the kill.
Yeah.
Predicting a kill?
Another armor break. Oh dear. This is punishment here for Steve for not hitting this surf.
Natural justice.
Well, why doesn't that occur in my games of Blood Bowl? A number of mistakes I see from my opponents.
I think justice and the judge are not the same thing.
And that'll give him 3 turns to score back.
So it's just got to be a blitz with the ball carrier on the catcher, 2 dice, and then a go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it does leave Stig 3 turns to try and score a winner.
With 3 rerolls.
Yeah.
But Panico can't cage up again.
No.
So. He's just playing for some safety moves here. And here we go. Here's the blitz. 2 dice on the ball carrier. Needs a push.
If he gets a power, he doesn't even have to do the go for it. Oh.
Whoa!
2 powers.
This is extreme punishment.
Has he got another catcher?
No.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
dear, oh dear.
3 armor breaks as well on this turn, on top of conceding a touchdown.
Oh.
So that's important that that didn't go off, because Steve's going to need that high movement player for his 3-turn response.
Absolutely. Would you pick up with the catcher, or would you pass to the catcher? Obviously, where would you position the catcher?
He's more somebody you want potential to hand off to, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably screened off somewhere, so he can't be
Screened
hit.
off in range,
Yep.
hand off, or even worst case scenario, pass option.
Depends where the ball lands on kickoff.
Yeah.
Would you give him the ball earlier or later? Obviously, it depends on where the ball lands. But
Yeah. Well,
because obviously the Elfie thing is to keep him back and then pass later, but with the 3 up.
I mean,
what's
you're
Panico
picking the ball up with
stalling
the thrower.
Yeah.
You want to score the thrower if you don't have to do anything. So,
Okay. Yeah.
But that's obviously quite unlikely
In
over
3
3
turns.
turns.
Yeah.
So, oh, we might be given a stall
Hello.
here. Is this?
Is he playing?
Oh my
playing for
goodness,
the
he is.
draw? Wow.
Okay. Man after your own heart. Has he won a major? That's the question.
This is interesting. That stun. There's 2 stuns. Both of those guys are stunned. It's kind of made Panico's mind frame, I guess.
Okay. Fairly nailed on draw.
You would think so now.
Cool.
Oh,
Right. Enjoy.
thank you very much.
See you later.
See you later.
Mike Davis, former president of the NAF Championship, there leaving us.
NAF Championship.
Of the NAF. The NAF!
The entire NAF.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know whether Stig has realised that he's missed that chance to surf, but I mean, he must be kicking himself. That was the game right there. On a plate. Still not over. If Stig can force Panicoblack to score in his next turn, then they still have 2 turns chance to score.
And you'd think that Stig would have a better chance to 2-turn than the Amazons.
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, they do have that nonsense 4 or 5 up pass type play in them.
Definitely.
And with a pass reroll and a catch reroll, you've got your team reroll to cover other things.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just a slight readjustment of that player in order to get a 2-die block. Which knocks someone down. Not sure I'd follow up there. Yeah, he thought better of that as well.
Not through, are they?
That's weird, the same thing has happened. You can notice the tablecloth on the left hand side. The pitch has slowly been moved to the right.
Oh, okay.
Just through like the tablecloth being dragged one way. So sort that out. Another pow from the ogre this time.
Oh.
A little bit of damage. Well, it's not happening. So Adric said YOLO cage dive, but I think the problem is with these players stunned, it's not even a case of 6s happen, because you need 2. You need a 4 up and then the 6 up. This player hasn't activated, have they?
I don't think so.
4, 5, 6. So it'd be a 3 up dodge, a 4 up dodge, a 6 up dodge.
That's smart.
A go for it.
So we'll have to go. I mean, he's got 3 rerolls for 3 turns, so he can just sink a reroll into it.
Yeah, I think if he can get the rest of his players
Yeah.
pressuring in so that it's a bit of a shot to nothing.
Yeah.
And even if the player falls over here on a 6,
Yeah,
doesn't get a 6 but doesn't armor break,
Yeah. He has to score.
you
Yeah.
have to score. Yeah, this stun here was a real problem. That is a nice block
Yeah.
of the roots. So yeah, more pressure with Carla in. Oh, he's just going for damage.
Interesting. Oh, it's the kind of thing you can't bear to see. Your opponent with the ball carrier next to the sideline has to be punished. Has to find a way.
What I'd be worried here if I was Stig is I'll get some battery. Yeah, it's just sort of, potentially this player coming around to blitz there,
Yeah,
and then these guys heading off in this direction.
absolutely. Okay, it looks like Steve turns over. We'll have to see what Panicoblack does here. Is he tempted into further stalling? Yeah, this section of the pitch is completely open here. Should he wish to stall. Always the best moment when the players' heads come into view. In full glorious autofocus. Still waiting to see what Panico decides to do here. Whether he's just trying to get a few blocks in or whether he actually is trying to stall. Intriguing. Is Panico trying to squeeze another turn of stalling out here? How greedy is he? Wow, this is a lot of thinking time. Lot of thinking time. Looks like he's going for it. Looks like the stall might be on. So go for it. It's a 2 dice block. Oh, this is interesting. There's definitely some shots now. Just try and stall. So to try and surf the ball carrier, I mean. So it looks like Panico is going for another stall.
Wow. Into the corner.
Couple of dodges here as well. Oh, fouled that one. Just made it. Is this a go for it? It is. Oh, it's a foul. Okay. Interesting. Trying to stop the catcher half dice dodge surf action there. He's burning a reroll on just a nothing block. Because he's got one left. Oh, he's loner with Carla for a 2 dice block on a nobody alignment. Gets it down. Oh, it's through though. Undead. Wow. Okay. Well, that is a good loner reroll. Always a casualty. Where's the surf? That's the question. Is it even possible?
That makes it trickier.
Yeah.
So you've got one blocking contact and one blitz. And I don't think you can fill both squares.
No. Oh, agonising for Steve when he had this surf on the ball carrier when they were there a few turns ago.
So it's possible but impossible in the sense that Carla blocks there to fill that square.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the half die blitz.
Yeah, so 5 up, 5 up, 5 up, 6 up on dice. Well, you know, Pippi did that to me at the War Bowl this year. So.
The dodges are guaranteed.
Yeah.
But then fails on the go. I guess that is at least. Well, I mean, you don't even need the surf, do you? You could potentially blitz the ball carrier. So that would be a 4-6 for a half dice.
Half dice on a blodger. Is that a blodger with the ball?
No, I don't think it is.
No, maybe that's more interesting then. Just through with the arm, huh? Stunned.
So Adric saying at the Welsh Open he had Hellboy 6+1 dice off the pitch in a similar manner.
Don't put your player next to the sideline is the moral of that story.
So he just stood that player up. And so he's blitzing with the block lineman.
So go for a failure, re-roll in.
And makes a dodge. Now he needs the 6. This is the big one. Reroll used.
That is not a 6. Oh, and he's got to get KO'd as well for the privilege. And Panicoblack has just scored, so that is 1-1.
So now Stig needs a one-turner.
Well, humans can definitely do it. They've got the catcher there, so it's a possibility.
That's it. The difference between movement 7 and movement 8 is huge for the one-turners. Panico going for the standard one-turn defence. And Stig now setting up.
I did the numbers recently, again, and I think it's better to have a guy there and then a guy there on each lowing. So that guy there, there, and there.
So Food does it in the middle one, so between where you said,
Okay.
and he thinks that's better.
Okay. I'll have to check the numbers again.
Because I think, so against movement 9, this works because they're only going to there, so they're having to make that dodge.
Yeah.
But with movement 8 players, they need to be on this line anyway. So you've effectively saved them a dodge.
Yeah.
So yeah, by dropping this player back either 1 or 2 squares, you're forcing all these extra dodges through. I guess again that's the advantage of like with Wood Elves having a grab tree, because if the grab tree works to manipulate the play around, potentially you can just blitz that one away.
Absolutely.
And then that's a...
Well, I mean, the situation I had it in Monkey Ball was even easier than that because, I was playing against other Wood Elves and then a couple of players down, so it was literally a case of like, this player wasn't even here, so just like blitz this guy
and walk it in.
Yeah.
Great. Someone just went over to watch the game, just hit the bloody stand and has now moved some of the cameras.
Excellent, thank you for that, child. All of Stig's children are gathered round. He's a teacher, so he's got a school trip of like 7 or 8 kids here with him, and they're all gathered around watching dear teacher
We don't mind that. But
watching their game.
don't kick the cameras.
Oh, could be a touchback. Perfect defense. I think that will be
Outrageous.
potentially the end of that one turner.
No. It isn't.
Where is the catcher?
So the catcher is here.
Yeah.
So potentially you could blitz round this side.
Oh,
push
yeah.
out to there. It's tricky to get to there, but not impossible.
Yeah.
And then you're manipulating in this direction.
Yeah, it's still on, isn't
Oh
it?
no, he's given up. He's just going for Kaz.
Oh, what? Oh, Steve. Yeah, that was very much still on. Because he had a 3+ dodge, in fact, to just get to fill that square to start with. He could have done the 3+ dodge first to get to that square.
Well, it wasn't even a dodge with because you could, like you say, you could just with these players here, that one just walks into there.
Oh yeah.
That was absolutely. In fact, that was easier.
I know, because there was an Amazon in the way there.
The Amazons were here
Oh,
and here.
oh, were they? Okay, fine. Yeah, just walk in.
Just walk in. That was actually slightly easier, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. 1-1 between Panicoblack and Stig. This was table 2 of the NAF Championships. So I think both of those guys will look back at missed opportunities. So the next round, we're sort of deep into lunchtime now, so it's not going to be too long until the next round. Where did I bloody get that? Hang on, 1 second. Just looking at the round timings. Oh, I already had it open. Idiot. So round 2 is at 1:15, which is
No.
oh, it's Sunday. Yeah, 12:45. Thank you. Which is in about 37 minutes. So that'll be 11:45 UTC, 12:45 UK time. So we will leave you here, guys. 1-1 between Panicoblack and Stig, and we'll see you for round 5, which will feature halflings.
What?